Hi and welcome. This video is going to be on how to create a random click area or a random click box where it only clicks in that area which we're going to define and it doesn't click anywhere else on the screen. So I'm going to hit create. I'll call it random click box. Put it in the tutorial section and then type begin. So the first thing that I want to do is create some variables. So this lesson is going to be mostly about variables and a little bit about the investigator tool, and hopefully show you how to define these areas a little easier. So I'm going to type in variable, and then I want to set, but I want to set a random variable. Even though these are going to be the XY coordinates, so when I name it, I'm going to name this one X for the X coordinate, but I don't want it randomly across the entire screen, so I'm going to show you how to set it up so that it's in a specific area. So this one is going to be for my Y coordinate, and then I'm going to want the mouse to click in that area, so I'm going to put at coordinate, and then I'm going to use the variables that I just set up. Well, I haven't finished setting them up, but I started to. And then I want it to left click. So the first thing I need to do is find out what coordinates my X and Y are going to be. Basically define my box. So I'm just going to use my browser for that. And I wanted to click inside this box on Google. You can see when you click in it, it changes, so you can type. That's grayed out when it's not selected. So I'm going to go back to the investigator tool, go under tools, hit investigate, and then bring that browser window back up and hit print screen. Now I can get rid of that, and let's go down to that box. Alright, so this is the investigator tool, shows me the box. So basically your X coordinates are horizontal or go across, and your Y coordinates are vertical, go up and down. So for my X, I'm going to need the far left and the far right, and then for my Y I need the top and the bottom. Well, I can do this with just 2 points. If I just take the top left hand corner and then the bottom right hand corner, that's going to give me all the variables I need. And this eyedropper tool can help you out. You can see when I clicked up here, I didn't get it all the way up in the corner. So I can just click inside the eyedropper tool and it moves it for me. So it's kind of like a zoom. You can see things more closely. It helps out when you're looking at colors. Like if I were to click in here, you can see there's a whole bunch of colors. So if you're looking for one specific one, the eyedropper tool can help you out. So from here you can see that my far left X coordinate is 730, and then that's also my top, which is my Y coordinate here. So I can use both of those. So I'm going to go back up here to the macro and type in for my X, the value was, let me move that back up, 730, and my Y coordinate was 439. Then if I go back to the bottom right hand corner and I get my values that I need for my X and Y on that side, and I type that in the wrong spot. Let me change that. 439, and this is actually going to be 1297 and 466. Alright, so those are going to be my coordinates. I can close out of the investigator tool. That's going to be, that defines the box that I'm looking for to click in. Now I want it to pause. So instead of doing a random, instead of a static pause with just a duration, I'm going to make it random also. But unlike the top where I'm going to set variables, where I have set variables, I'm going to use the humanly command, which I can use pause from one time to another, and I'm going to set it from 1 second to 2 seconds. and then end. Now for this one, I'm going to set up some triggers. So I'm going to enable triggers, and I'm just going to start it with A and stop it with S. And then hit infinite. And I'm going to save it and close it in a minute. The reason I do this is so that I can go ahead and, instead of starting it now and it's going to start clicking, it gives me time that I can pull up the browser window. Then whenever I'm ready, I'll hit A and it'll start. And then whenever I want to stop it, just hit S. So I'm going to save and close it and bring up my browser window again. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit A to start it. And you can follow the mouse around, see where it's clicking. I'm not touching it right now. This is the macro. So it's moving around. It's clicking inside that box. Every spot it clicks is going to be different. It's always going to click inside the box, and it's never going to click outside the box. So we'll watch it just for a few seconds. You can see it moves all over the place, clicking around. So anytime you need to make a random click area, this is one way to do it. And I like doing this because it's, pretty darn random where it clicks, and it's always going to stay in that invisible box that you defined. So I'm going to hit S to stop it. Go ahead and close that out and open this up so you can see it again. So basically what we did is we set two random numbers for X and Y coordinates. We use the upper left hand side to get our X and our Y coordinates, and then the bottom right to finish off defining that box, and then just have the mouse click at those two variables or coordinates, which is going to be random, somewhere between the far left and the far right, the top and the bottom. And then we have a random pause using the humanly.pause command. Thanks for watching.